Now at 11, we're following breaking news. A rap star on the rise killed during a violent home invasion in the Hollywood Hills this morning. The music world is in shock as police search for the shooter. Welcome to CBS 2 News at 11 and streaming on CBS in Los Angeles. I'm DeMarco Morgan.
And I'm Jasmine Veal in for CBS.
What if I told you that Pop Smoke's killer just walked free? Yeah, you heard that right. The courtroom shocker that's got the whole world talking. What's really going on behind the scenes? Was justice really denied for one of rap's brightest stars? You won't believe the jaw-dropping twist that left fans and celebrities speechless. But first, let's take a step back and remember the legend we're talking about, Pop Smoke. Born Bashar Baraka Jackson on July 20th, 1999, this Brooklyn native wasn't just a rapper. He was the rising star of the hip-hop world. With his signature deep voice, electric delivery, and a sound that blended UK drill with New York vibes, Pop Smoke was like a breath of fresh air. Tracks like Dior and Welcome to the Party weren't just songs. They were anthems that had everyone hooked, from New York to London. But just as things were beginning to spark up for the rap star, things took a dark turn. On February 19, 2020, the music world was hit with a devastating shock that felt like a bad dream nobody could wake up from. Pop Smoke, one of hip-hop's brightest stars, was gone. It all happened at a luxurious Hollywood Hills mansion where Pop was laying down new tracks and, as many of us do, sharing a few highlights on social media. But what started as a regular day of flexing expensive gifts turned into a tragic turn of events when an address slip-up set the stage for disaster. In the early morning hours, a group of masked men broke into the mansion, storming the place in what would become a nightmare home invasion. Four suspects charged into the house, and during the chaotic struggle, Pop Smoke was tragically shot multiple times. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but the damage was already done. Pop Smoke, just 20 years old, was gone, leaving behind not just a trail of bangers but a fan base and industry in absolute shock.
This is a melody.
Baby, welcome to the party.
Shockingly, investigations revealed something that sent chills through the industry. Pop Smoke's murder wasn't a random act of violence. It was a targeted robbery. The suspects weren't just out for chaos. They had their eyes on high-value items inside his rented Hollywood Hills mansion. But even with these findings, the details of that tragic night remain shrouded in mystery. It's the kind of heart-wrenching story that makes you wonder, what really happened inside those walls? The loss of Pop Smoke didn't just hit hip-hop hard, it echoed across the world. But as the world grieved, the investigation into Pop Smoke's murder gained speed. Just months later, in July 2020, 5 individuals, 2 adults and 3 minors, were arrested in connection to the crime. Authorities pieced together that the suspects had targeted Pop Smoke, possibly tracking him down through those very same social media posts that had showcased his luxurious lifestyle earlier in the day. It's a tragic reminder of how quickly things can take a dark turn, especially when the spotlight shines so bright. Fast forward to 2024, and just when you think the story couldn't get more shocking, the courtroom drama takes a wild twist. One of the suspects involved in Pop Smoke's murder, a minor at the time, just walked free after a plea deal that has everyone asking, how is this even possible? That's right, the same kid who was allegedly part of one of the most heartbreaking losses in hip-hop is back on the streets, and fans are not happy. Here's where things get even more mind-boggling. This 21-year-old, who was reportedly just 15 at the time of the crime, had been held in a juvenile detention center. He's believed to be the one who pulled the trigger, and in May 2023, he admitted to shooting Pop Smoke. Yet, on his 21st birthday, he was released from the secure youth treatment facility in California. Wait, what? A killer, out just like that? Talk about a courtroom twist that no one saw coming. On July 4th, in a jaw-dropping moment that left everyone speechless, the suspect, who was out on bail and a juvenile at the time of Pop Smoke's murder, had the audacity to show zero remorse for his actions. "I'm not sorry about nothing," Blockstar said, in a cold, almost chilling interview. "It should have never happened, but I ain't sorry. If I could go back, I'd go back. But I ain't sorry. People die every day." Pop Smoke was rapping about it. All types of stuff. So, I ain't sorry about it. I send my condolences to the family. I wish it never happened, but I don't regret anything.
Regret going to the Airbnb that night? I don't regret nothing, but I wish I never had either.
Wait, What? The casual dismissal of such a heartbreaking event left fans, the public, and the music industry in total disbelief. It's one thing to make a mistake, but to brush it off with people die every day, that's on another level of cold. The internet, of course, exploded, with people calling out Blockstar for his shocking lack of remorse. The question on everyone's mind: how could someone say this and still walk free? Well, it turns out, the US legal system is tricky when it comes to minors involved in big crimes like this. Some laws are designed to focus on rehabilitation instead of punishment, meaning juveniles can get out much earlier than you'd expect, even in cases as shocking as this one.
And I apologize for my actions that I made. I was a kid.
No moment seem free, and we be shopping through the city. I gave the keys to the Bentley.
In this case, the suspect's defense team likely pulled out all the stops, arguing that the young defendant had been influenced or coerced into taking part in the crime, something you often hear in juvenile cases. And guess what? The court bought it, granting a plea deal that saw the suspect walk free, leaving Pop Smoke's fans in shock. Many are calling it a massive failure of justice. How can someone involved in such a high-profile, brutal crime just go free? The courtroom drama didn't just end there. It left more questions hanging in the air than answers. Legal experts point to the suspect's age, claims of manipulation, and a few twists in the case that complicated things. But let's be real, none of that cuts it for Pop Smoke's loyal fans. To them, the justice system has failed big time. It's clear that the story doesn't just end here, and the battle for justice isn't over yet. Will we ever get the full truth? Or is this just another example of the system letting us down? One thing's for sure, fans are not staying quiet. Pop Smoke's family is understandably devastated. They had hoped the courtroom would offer some closure, but instead, they've been left feeling like the system pulled the rug out from under them. After all, when you're promised justice and get the opposite, heartbreak is inevitable. Legal experts, of course, have chimed in with their 2 cents, pointing out the tricky waters of prosecuting juveniles. It's always the same debate, rehabilitation versus punishment. But for Pop Smoke's fans, this isn't some dry legal debate, it's personal. To them, the system has failed to bring justice for a life that was brutally taken too soon.
We don't shoot one or two, we gon' boom up the room. Back with the chop, we gon' scream rap. To that 40 Jody, roll a 40 clip. I bet I make it into 40 clips.
This whole situation is more than just courtroom drama. It's a spotlight on the cracks in the justice system, particularly when it comes to celebrity cases. And, hey, let's not forget, there's a bigger issue at hand. Does the system treat black artists fairly? Or does fame skew the scales of justice? Fans, activists, and legal commentators alike are asking the tough questions.
Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Don't let my heart turn cold. Have mercy.
The legal drama surrounding Pop Smoke's tragic death is far from wrapping up. With other suspects still awaiting trial, the hope for justice remains alive. But with one of the killers already released, the fear is real. Will Pop Smoke's story ever get the closure it deserves? So, is this just another case of fame warping the outcome? Or is there something deeper going on when it comes to justice for artists like Pop Smoke? Whatever the answer, one thing's clear, this isn't over, and the world is watching closely. You can let us know what you think. Also, for more sizzling news and jaw-dropping revelations, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. If this video had you hooked, give us a thumbs up, and let's keep the good vibes flowing. Stay curious, stay wild, and keep it real. See you in our next video.